Father God, we thank you for this day, Father. We pray, Lord, that you remove us out of the way, God, and that you speak to your people, speak to your felons, speak to the supporters of the felon, God. We pray, God, that you will bring this message together, let it touch lives, change lives, and create turns in the mind of people. In Jesus' name, amen.
Man.
Amen.
You want to do the introduction? You want to start off? Or you want me to do it, man?
What's happening, everybody?
Hey, come on, D.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I was saying, it wasn't my turn. He ain't finished.
Hey, man.
Coming down, Lopez.
Hey,
Boy, it's been listening like it's been 3 months that we've been in here.
long,
We're down to 33 minutes. Coming down, Lopez.
long week.
2, 1, action.
Bingo. What's happening, everybody? We want to welcome you to another episode of Felons Ain't Failures Podcast. This your boy, Coach Chuck, your podcast pastor.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. It's your big boy, bro. God
Dang.
damn.
What's your name?
Want to do it again?
Go, keep going.
I'm fit too.
All right, we'll do it again. What's up?
Oh, this shit gonna be a good one.
Don't put this stuff on. No, man.
Put it on there, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
What's happening, everybody? This your... Oh, dang.
3, 2, 1, action.
Bingo. What's happening, everybody? We want to welcome you to another episode of Felons Ain't Failures Podcast. This your host, Coach Chuck, the podcast pastor.
What's happening, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy, Big Bro Los, in the studio getting ready to set this podcast. Oh, but you know I ain't by myself, bro. Y'all know who with me, standing to the side.
Yeah, back again, your boy D Moss, C-Moss, better known as Coach Murph. What's going on out there, ladies and gentlemen?
What's happening? Gentlemen. What's going on?
Hey.
What's happening? You know how we start off.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
start it off.
Oh,
Love you,
man.
bro.
Love you too, bro.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Love you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it
Well,
started.
we got another one. We got the drop in the book today.
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Yeah, let's go ahead, big bro. Let's
What
go
we
ahead and
talking
get it
about?
going.
Ah, man, you know how I do, man. I like to set it off. So today,
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
we're going to talk a little bit about pace, not race.
Okay.
Setting a pace. It's a pace,
All right.
not a race.
Not a race.
Who race though? Who race we talking about?
Okay. Or who pace?
Who
How you going to
pace?
set
How
your
you
pace
gonna-
up?
Yes, sir.
Because there's
You
different...
know what? I want to do something different. We got away from this. Let's talk about your week. How was your week?
Yeah,
How was your
yeah,
week?
yeah.
It's
I was
Saturday.
getting ready
It's
to
Saturday,
do that.
so we can't do the weekend.
Yeah.
But let's let the people into our lives a little bit. So talk about your
I've been shut down, bro. You
Bubble
know,
guts.
Well, they ain't have to know that, but I had a stomach virus. And so I've been shut down, bro. I'm still a little weak, but
You here?
I've been ready to get back into the podcast, bro. You know,
Yeah.
so that's some medicine itself, being here with my brothers, man. So other than that, I'm here. What about you, bro?
Yeah, me personally dealing with a upper respiratory infection this week, so I ain't feeling my best neither. But I'm here. You know, I'm excited about empowering people, moving them, creating turns in their mental. You know, to be able to go after more, have more, and be more.
Well, I guess I ain't the sick one in the group. I'm feeling all right. Just a little mentally tired, a little physical. Long week. I mean, trying to get back to normal, but you know we here.
Yeah.
We definitely here.
Yeah, things pretty much getting back to normal. Hope
Yeah.
everybody was okay.
Yeah.
A lot of us suffered some damage throughout the storm. But,
Yeah. We're going to talk
hopefully.
about that. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, that was one of your ideal topics.
Yeah,
so,
I had, you
It
had
was not-
you had the whole topic. You, Lopez, and the
we'll
pastor.
get to it. Well, what you got?
Anyway,
Come on, let's go. Let's get it going
Anyway,
today.
so yeah, we're gonna talk about pace, not race. We're gonna
Pace,
talk
not a
about
race.
Pace, not
All right.
race. You know, and I'm pretty sure everybody heard the term or slogan or whatever. It's a marathon, not a race. You know,
Shout out to Nipsey.
which a marathon is a race,
Still is a race, yes,
but
sir.
it's more strategic. You know,
Okay.
it's
Uh-oh.
slow.
Calculated.
I like to use that word strategic, man, because I don't think people really take into effect how important strategizing is.
Yeah, and you say that word better than socioeconomic disparities.
I'm not even gonna say that no more because we already know how we did on that episode right there. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know how I like to do. I like to throw a couple definitions at you right quick. So let's start with pace.
Let's ride. Let's
Okay.
ride.
Come on, educator.
Pace. a single step taken, you know, when walking, running. But the main part I want you to hear about that is a single step taken.
Single step.
You know, we boom, boom. We setting the pace. We ain't running. This ain't no sprint. You know, it's a marathon. This is taking a while. And again, however you want to tie it to, you might tie this pace to your career choice. You might tie this pace to your relationship.
Okay.
You know? You might tie this pace to your spiritual relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just whatever it is, you know, but set the pace, you know, so we want to go on that right there. And I gave you the definition of pace. Let me jump on race right quick because it ties in together. So when I got race, a competition between runners, horses, vehicles, y'all know what a race is. It's self-explanatory. But again, it's competition.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But when we setting the pace, you know, I don't think we're trying to be competitive. You know, if I'm doing it in my life, this is about my pace.
I was just gonna say
No,
that.
this about my pace. I ain't trying to compare with you, and I ain't trying to be in a battle with you. This is my pace that I'm setting for me. So it's not about the competition. It goes back into the pace, not race. Race is the competition.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Mm-hmm.
So we it's not a competition, you know. But I want to set this to something that's comfortable for me.
Yeah.
You know
Am I
what I'm
moving too
saying?
much? Okay.
What's
Go ahead,
comfortable for me? So I know, bro. What you think?
Yeah. I think this is like maybe the greatest approach you could have once you get to the point like people our age, at least 25 and up. You know what I'm saying? When you start to get a little bit more serious, a little bit more focused about maybe what you want to do in your life, maybe some things you want to possess in your life. Because a lot of people can start, but a lot of people don't finish. And yeah, okay, definitely. A lot of people can start. A lot of people start, but a lot of people don't finish. And I think a lot of people don't finish is because they don't somewhere along the journey develop or find a great pace for them. Okay, so I think now, like me, this time around in my life, as I began to engage in the different endeavors and things I may want to accomplish personally, spiritually, like you said, on a career level, I understand that I have to have the mindset of that I have to establish a pace as I'm on this journey, because it's a lot of emphasis put on getting started, but a lot of people don't put a lot of emphasis on finishing what you start. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to tell people all the time, it's easy. It's one thing to play with some numbers and some signatures and get your car off the lot. The next thing is you got to continue to pay for it every month. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us have bad credit, and that's just that's a parallel to not being able to finish what we start.
Okay.
So even when it comes to looking at your bills and things like that, like you need to have, there's a pace to be found with everything. You know, they call it a budget, but a budget is just a pace. You know what I'm saying? Your budget allows you to see what you can do, what you got coming in, what you got extra to go out. So you even pace how you spend. You pace how you live for looking at a budget.
Right.
And people who don't pace their finances well are people who always in debt, people who live check for check, people who don't have anything extra to do something when something comes up. No miscellaneous money, no money put to the side for if your car break down. Because, and this just went a different way, because they haven't paced their finances. So even now, we can begin to look at pace from a different aspect. I like how you said race. When you think of race from a sprinting point, it's a competition. So people who race compete. People with a pace, they complete. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that again. People who race, they compete. People who pace, they complete. Okay. And I think at some point we have to get to the at some point in our lives we got to get to the point where I want to start completing things. Okay. Because if everybody could be honest, and we could all recall things that we started and we haven't finished. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that we learn to complete and no longer compete. So I like that, and I kind of like that, bro. I never thought about one of y'all got to get in here. I never thought about.
Yeah, I got you right now though. With that,
I just got out of it.
With the as far as the pace,
I don't want to talk it straight.
I need people to understand that my pace not gonna be bro pace. Bro pace not gonna be my pace. The podcast pastor pace not gonna be our pace. You have to go at your own pace. So you have to understand you first and understand what you're going after
Yes, sir.
to figure out what that pace is. Because certain things takes different types of pace. If you're going after a certain career, you don't want to take too long to get that going. You want to get that started and complete that as soon as possible. Budgeting, you can mediocre that pace because you got to learn how to figure out how your finances are going and learn to, okay, I can spend on this for this month, but I can't spend on that for that month. Relationship pace, you got to pick the right partner first.
Yeah.
And y'all got to pace together. That's one pace that you have to have a cohesiveness with. I can't even get that word out now.
Yeah, you probably
It's on
shouldn't have
camera.
said that, though.
Oh,
Cohesiveness.
you get back at me?
On camera.
Yeah, get you some single syllable words. DJ
Whatever,
Smurf.
y'all know what I mean.
Yeah,
One, you got to be one with that pace.
but also, bro,
Y'all
let me
hit him in the
go- let
comments
me-
about
let
that
me,
word, too.
You know,
Cohesiveness. Thank you. I can pronounce it.
a pace is consistent and continuous speed. You know, when you move.
When you're moving.
You know,
Yes, it is.
but just because we hear the word speed, a lot of time we hear the word speed, we
Go
think,
fast.
pedal to
Yeah.
the metal.
Yeah.
You know, is there not a such thing as slow speed, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's slow speed.
Yeah.
You know,
5 miles per
there's
hour
your
speed.
pace. You know what I'm saying? There's your pace. You know, because sometimes when we move too fast, what happened when we move too fast?
Burn out, baby.
You wear yourself out.
You
Burn out.
You wear
You,
yourself
you
out.
burn out, you get exhausted, or even worse, you quit.
You quit.
You quit.
Yeah.
You know, there's no completion in quitting, bro. We're talking about complete, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right? We pace to
Yeah.
complete.
Yeah, completers
you
forget
know.
how to quit.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's a key word you said about being burnt out. Because I've experienced it in my own life, and I know a lot of people watching have. And burnt out is it's a terrible thing. See, and people look at let me tell you something about being burnt out. When something's burnt out, that means it's terribly damaged. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes beyond repair.
Can't
You know what I'm
rebuild
saying? So sometimes when things burn out, you can't repair them. You have to replace them. So now you involve different elements, things being taken out, new things being put in. But like a cruise to Mexico won't fix a burnout. Like that's a reset. So some people go so hard in life and then they burn out and they think they could just take a cruise to Mexico and they're gonna come back and they're gonna be all right. Once you've burnt out, you've been terribly damaged. You know, so a reset is different from a repair and a replace. You know, and a lot of people trying to reset a burnout in their life and wonder why they can't get back to them old selves, why they can't get back into positions or even operate or flow like they was flowing. And like you said, it's because they never established a pace. It's okay to start out too slow, like you said. It's okay to start out fast. But at some point, you have to establish a pace. Because now you said something real key, bro. You said about a partner. You got to choose a partner.
Choose a correct
So
partner.
when you think of pace, now that kind of leads you to like how something flows. You understand what I'm saying? So when you find, and this is how you'll know if you find a good pace in your life, because things will begin to flow. So that means that somehow, because, all right, we got some people watching that really know about this stuff. But when you talk about vibrations and rhythms and stuff like
Rhythms.
that, so once you find the ideal pace for your life and your life begins to flow, what you actually done is you have collided with the rhythm of your life. You understand what I'm saying? So once you establish a rhythm, and that's kind of like dialing in the frequency. I'm glad you said. I wish you had a mic because I can't really unpack that. But when you hit a rhythm, that's kind of like in basketball. They say he on fire.
He on
He in the
fire,
shooting rhythm.
yeah.
Everything he throw up, it go in.
Zone.
So it's something about the consciousness of what you know and what you see and the things you commit. Once what you know and what you see, your environmental issues and setups, and once all that melts together, you establish a great pace where you can run it for a long time and you won't burn out. Things really then begin to flow.
Okay.
Hey, while
understand
you
this?
on
Go
your
ahead.
roll, because it seems like you rolling, I got a question for you.
Searching for it, really. Go
Oh, you search. Well, it sounds like you found it. What's the best strategy, pace for a felon that's in prison
Well, I was just
and
finna
getting
go
ready
there.
to come out of
I
prison?
was just finna go there because that's who this podcast
Since that
is
that
about.
podcast is for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
How do we pace
I
that?
go ahead and jump to it.
Yeah, how we pace that?
Well,
What
the
we
first thing is determine your finish line. So even like we talked about a marathon, because no matter the speed, it still could be a pace. is that first you need to know how far you got to go.
So, question there: you saying the finish line, is that your end goal? Because if you is that it? You complete, or that's just the end of that? You need to break off and start something else?
whatever goal you set for yourself. Like, let's say you have a career goal and you want to be a welder.
Okay.
So while you're in prison, you need to start doing some researching
What to do when
on
you get
whatever
out of
counter
prison.
you in, what type of classes and certifications you'll need to be a welder.
Okay.
And then so once you get out, you know what school to go to, what to sign up, what it's going to take. And then you find out how often you got to go to school.
Okay.
So to establish a pace for a felon when you come home would be the first priority is that my life has to be built around the school I got to take. So you start creating a life around that because
Okay.
that's only going to be a temporary race. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So school is important. It's first, the classes, the hours. You build a life around that. That way you can go to school every day and still participate and live in the things that you build around it. You finish that, you get that degree, you ran that race.
Find
So that
another
finish
race.
line was,
Yes, sir.
I know I got to go to school, so I know I can't engage in a lot of hanging out, a lot of extracurricular activities. So I build
A foundation and
a
structure
foundation.
for that.
I build
Yeah.
things around me going to
Yeah.
school.
Gotcha.
That's establishing the pace. Now that I get out, I start hanging out. I'm here, I'm there, but I got to get up and go to school tomorrow.
Doing what
That's
you've
not
been
a
doing to
pace.
get you there.
Because now you're going to be burnt out.
Yes,
And once
sir.
you get burnt out, you can't be reset. You got to be repaired, and that's a different type of
Go ahead, bro.
it's a different type of thing that
I wish I had that Cowboys cup.
garbage kicking it.
Yeah.
But that's a different type of thing. So even as a felon, establishing the pace, like we say, would be first you figuring out where's your finish line.
Okay.
And then you start lining up appropriating things that allow you to make it to that finish line.
Okay. I see that.
That's
I see
good.
what
That's
you're
good.
saying.
That's good.
Right. So this pace, you know, if I'm setting my pace,
Mhm.
you know, I want my pace to be something that I'm comfortable with, you know, that would allow me, you know, I'm pacing, I'm good, I'm comfortable,
Yeah.
you know, and this will allow me to not backtrack or backslide, you know, or stop, just stop completely, you know. I want to see the momentum that I'm building in
Okay.
this pace, you know what I'm saying?
I got another question. I got a lot of questions
got a
today.
lot of
I got a lot of questions. Do you think if you get too comfortable, you might get complacent? So you want
no,
something?
I disagree with that because
that's why I'm
one
asking.
thing, once you find a good pace, that becomes comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So as you build your endurance and operating at that pace, that becomes comfortable.
But you got to fight adversity through the pace too, though.
You got to.
Yeah,
you got
but
to.
I think I don't think being comfortable makes you complacent. I think lack of execution
Oh,
will make you complacent. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
If you just say, "Well, I'm just going through the motions or whatever," you know,
You
and-
ain't strategize.
right?
or-
Yeah,
There you
know
go.
what I mean,
Gotcha.
so yeah,
Back to that.
And a lot of people, and I know I've experienced this. A lot of times, people get complacent because they choose to do things just because it's the right thing
It's
to
the right
do.
thing to do.
You know what I'm saying? But the right thing to do ain't always the best thing for you to do. You know what I'm saying? So don't do something just because it's the right thing to do. Do something because it's something that you really want to do, something that you don't mind getting up and doing, something that you don't mind getting up and pursuing every day, and then you establish your pace and build around that for your life.
bro. Me and you was on the phone yesterday, and I talked about how sometimes the word routine it can cripple you.
Cripple you.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because just look how many times we go through the same routine every day in our life because we think that's just what it is or what we're supposed to do or it's just what we're used to doing. There's
People can pick
when
you up. Yeah.
but there's when you can get complacent,
Mhm.
you know, because you ain't stepped the game up. You ain't your momentum hasn't changed any. You know, again, it's not a race, you know, but you should be moving swiftly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when we get to that routine and just I don't think we choose to strengthen ourselves because we're just in a set routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we haven't came whatever we did yesterday, we're gonna do the same thing today because it's just another day. Instead of the next day being like, what can I do better?
Yeah.
How can I be stronger?
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna lift me up to the next tier, to the next level? You know what I'm saying? Because when you start thinking that way and you start doing that, now you out the routine.
Yeah.
You out the routine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Different ways to
Because you're
attack it.
operating in rhythm now.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you're starting to build a
There you
rhythm.
go.
You know, you go from routine to rhythm.
Right.
And another reason pace is important because if you think about when you're moving at a pace, it leaves you room to be able to adjust, to adapt. You know, if you think about it, if you see people like run a race full sprint, a lot of times they running so hard that they end up out of control when they cross the finish line. What they fall, they tumble, and all kind of stuff.
If they even make it to the
if they make it, versus a person who runs at a great pace, even if it's a fast pace, they run at a great controllable pace. They're able to go through the rope and slow themselves down. You know what I'm saying? Now, they may lay down once they stop on the ground, but you see a lot of sprinters tumble. And I think we have to pay attention to that because a lot of people run so fast that when they get towards the end, they fall.
We got another episode coming up soon called Finish Strong. I'm going to talk about that.
Okay, well, we're going to leave that one alone.
Leave that there, leave that where it's at.
Don't get too much in the track and field.
Okay, yes, sir.
I got a little something with that with Finish Strong. But anyway, you know, whatever it is, wherever it is you decide to line your pace or whatever part of your life, whatever part of your job, whatever part of your career, whatever part of your family, you know, because, and family, you know, sometimes relationships are damaged for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't go back to the beginning and change the beginning. What done happened, you know, but wherever you are now, in that, how it is in that relationship, now you can start to rebuild it, you know. So if a father and a daughter have a damaged relationship, you know, who be ever that's gonna start to set the pace to rebuild it, you know? But do it, you know. Okay, I'm gonna pace myself slowly with my daughter because I want to have this relationship with her. I want our relationship to be strong and prosperous and full of love, you know. So I'm gonna pace myself because probably in the past I done moved a little too fast. I didn't listen to her when she was talking. You know, I beat my chest because I'm the daddy, you know, and I see how that turned out.
Yeah.
You know? So why don't I pace?
Yeah.
Why don't I
Something
move
different?
slow?
And even that,
you know?
moving to my felons, because a lot of times it's very important that as felons we have a great support system when we come home. But in a lot of situations, the crimes we commit and the life we was living prior to us going to prison or going back to prison,
Hurt people.
we hurt a lot of people. We stole our mama money. You know, we burnt a lot of bridges. You know what I'm saying? People who naturally had our backs. You know what I'm saying? We did them wrong. And so we can't think that I can just get excuse me. I can't think that I could just get out of prison and come home and everybody is behind me 100%. So even as a felon getting ready to release, our felon who's already released, when it comes to reestablishing your support system, you have to pace that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to earn trust back.
Right.
It don't come back just because now you out of prison, you've been gone for a while.
Right.
So even in
And
relation,
you served your time for society.
Yeah.
You know, you might have did your bid and okay, nah, that's overdone as far as prison is concerned.
But you ain't what you did to mama. You
committed
ain't
a
served
crime
for that yet.
outside of prison.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
people.
And I
Right.
said that because of what you were just talking about with that situation. I think you have to approach that. You have to pace that. You know, you can't just come back and think. Because sometimes, like people think they could just reappear back in your life and everything back to normal. You know, so during that rebuilding part of your support system, you have to have those conversations where whatever you can make right, whatever wrongs you can make right, you make those wrongs right, and you pace it. You don't expect nobody to be 100% behind you like they was before. You have to accept that. You have to give them that right and give them that room to reopen themselves back up to be able to trust you. You know, so even coming home for your support system, don't come home thinking everybody 100% behind you, and you can't be pissed because everybody ain't 100% behind you, because when they was 100% behind you, you burnt them. Yep. So even pace your relationships with your support system when you come home. With your kids. If you got older kids, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like, just because you home don't mean everything is okay. You know, a lot of kids, a lot of people have a lot of questions. They need some things answered. They need some closure. They need some relief on certain things. So you have to pace yourself coming home from prison, even with relationships, with careers, with whatever endeavors you want to impede on. Go ahead, I see you.
No, I mean, no, you're good. But I'm the one thing I like about this podcast is that, you know, we give y'all real life experiences, you know, and I'm gonna give y'all a situation where we're talking about, you know, having to reset the pace, you know, at least set a positive pace. My son, Andrew, you know, him and I fell out, and man, I don't know, Drew might have been about 12 or 13. He just a kid, you know, so it was really my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he said he said some things which a kid will say.
Yeah.
You know, and then I took it like, I ain't trying to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? This and that, and your mama should be doing this and that kind of stuff. And then I'm so stubborn, and apparently he liked me and he was stubborn, you know. But it was my job to stay in contact with him, you know, and then I just stopped.
Yeah.
You know, and I fell out of contact, you
Mhm.
know. And then I missed him and wanted to do something different, but I didn't. Remember you came to me and remember you said his mom, Simone, said, hey, when you talk to your brother, see if you
Yeah.
can talk to his son, because
Yeah.
his son need him,
Yeah.
you know. Man, I'm telling you, I had been a few years since I had talked to my boy, you know, but I kept reaching out to him. I said to myself, I'm going to set this pace, man. I'm going to slowly reach out to him and see when he's comfortable, you know, with us being able to talk, you know. And I kept sending messages. I kept trying to contact him. He didn't respond for a while, which was okay.
You got to give him that room.
Which was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're pacing it.
Yeah, and he had to set his pace as well, you know. But once he did, you know, and we started back talking, you know, and I'm pretty sure we never even had the conversation of why
Yeah.
we stopped talking, but because we both needed each other so much in each other's lives, you know,
That didn't even
and
matter
we
no more.
missed each other, you know.
Yeah.
It really didn't
That didn't
matter
matter no more.
because I knew it was petty, you
Mhm.
know, and maybe he figured out it was kind of petty too, but it don't matter because my daddy here for me right now, you know, and I was like, my son is here right now, and man, we on point right now.
Y'all flowing.
Oh,
y'all in good rhythm.
Goodness.
Yeah,
It
we
is-
jumping on
It
the-
is crazy. And we are still pacing ourselves, you
Yeah.
know, but we enjoying it. This
Yeah.
ain't nothing that we feel like we got to take it easy. Nah, man, let's just take it slow because this is what we want to do. We loving what we doing. Let's take this pace just like we doing, Pops. You know,
Exactly.
we got it going on.
And
being
the
part of
flow
that
pick up.
pace, you have to make sure that you hold yourself accountable for whatever it is that you did to make the situation the way it is.
Right.
So once you mature and hold yourself accountable, you can really start that pace because now you can explain to the person why you did what you did, or not explain, like you said, y'all never had that conversation. And at the end of the day, that part doesn't even matter anymore. That's in the past. What you say about the rearview mirror and why the windshield so
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
we ain't got to look back there no
Look
more.
at that
That's,
rearview
we
mirror.
done with that.
Yeah.
We going forward.
Yeah.
Go through the
I
windshield.
like that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of y'all can't see, but D-Moss, C-Moss got a lot of homemade jewelry on this morning.
It was.
What's up?
Here we go.
Yeah, we got jewelry coming soon. But
we got a few minutes left, but since you opened up, I want to jump on the operating table too.
This ain't
And
homemade though.
Let's cut my insides open. Now that we talking about it, you know what I'm saying. As a felon, like a lot of felonious behavior, give you a lot of bad, terrible, counterproductive actions and habits and stuff. So they're kind of similar like your situation. One of my daughters, everybody know I got 9 kids, 6 girls, 3 boys. One of my daughters,
Woo!
we're in
Got
the
the
process.
basketball
We're in the
team
process
and the
now.
cheerleaders.
Well, see, I'm in the process of trying to strengthen and rebuild my relationship with her because we bump heads, and a lot of times it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's my stubbornness, and my daughter is very stubborn. But I've realized, and this ain't the first time we done been through this. I realized, kind of like you did, like we talked about, that as I attempt to rebuild, and it's going back to everything I said, like I can't expect her just to be waking up, calling me when I text her, and she just be so excited. You know what I'm saying? Because we fell out about some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So even now, what I do now with my baby is I just text her, how you doing, blah, blah. And I notice that when I don't push, she'll text me back, I love you more, and this kind of stuff. So like you say, the love is there, but it's establishing the pace. Like I can't make her be back where I think we need to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I have to give her an opportunity to feel like she's ready to open up. You know what I'm saying? Because and I'll be honest, we have some issues for a long time. You know, I think a lot of it is because I wasn't there like she wanted me to be there.
Right.
Like she needed me to be there. You know, because I chose the streets in a lot of situations. I chose chasing women in a lot of situations. Did a little time in some situations. And I think that was traumatic. That was traumatic for her, and it damaged our relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then even being so inconsistent in a lot of things really damaged our relationship. So, and I said that to say because sometimes we just feel like because we're ready, like the other person supposed to feel just like us. And people are entitled to take as much time as they need, and they're entitled to open up whenever they're ready. You know what I'm saying? So me and her now, we kind of just text, and we was texting the other day. She's going to come in town. So I just told her, baby, I miss you. I want to see you. So she's like, when I get in town, we'll get up. You know what I'm saying? And we've done a reset before. And so it's about me, like you said with Andrew, once me and my baby find that rhythm again, it's about pacing. Because sometimes, like as a father, like you want to do so much for your kids. You know what I'm saying? And like you want to do so much, but you have so much going on in your life that you can't always be there like you say you're going to always be there because there's other stuff pulling at you. And so I have to make sure as we get back into that rhythm that, I even pace our relationship because my daughter's grown, so she got a right to govern and live her life how she wants to, and she got a right to govern our relationship how she wants to. So that's just key, because when we thought about the episode, I never really thought about pacing in a relationship. I never saw this as a repair topic, but it almost sounded like we're leaning more to even repairing, which is big for the felons because you burnt a lot of people.
Yeah.
You damaged your life, so some repairing that got to come out.
We got another episode that we're going to talk about that too.
We got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You got some.
Listen, I want to say something. I don't know if it's off topic real quick, but I want to say something to the men out there, okay? And especially to the men who have sons. If you're not in that young man's life for whatever reason, get in his life, okay? Reestablish that relationship, because as strong as our women are, and our women are strong, and I've seen many relationships where young men have grown up without a father in their life, but their mom raised them, and they came out to be great young men.
Yeah.
You see it in the NFL all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who they shouting out? They shouting out moms. But what she cannot do,
Teach him how to be a man.
teach him how to be a man.
Yeah.
She can't do it.
Yeah.
He's gonna be missing something that he needs.
Yeah.
Okay. So fix whatever you broke. Work on fixing it, but get in your son's life. I don't care if he your biological son or your stepson.
Well, you just
know
sit
what I'm saying?
home. Even if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, still fix it.
Which pretty much you probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Still
something
fix it.
damaged them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it might not have been intentional.
Yeah.
And it might have been
And-
something unconsciously you
And
did.
it might not be anything dealing with the child. It could be something dealing with their mother.
Yeah.
But that's still their mother, so they're going to feel more strongly for their mother. So fix that issue.
You did something wrong.
Yeah.
Because you turned your back on them. And that was if that was the only thing wrong, that's what you did. You turned your back because you was mad at whoever you left, but that's what you did wrong. Let's rebuild that because it's gonna create a better life for your child.
Yeah.
And you'll be more comfortable with recognizing who your young man is, and because of whatever the situations y'all went through, you can see that he learned from it, you learned from it, and what was built.
And go from there.
Go from there.
And remember, it's all about a pace. So don't come back with all them promises. I'm back. We're gonna be doing this. Pace yourself.
Pace.
Establish communication first. Be consistent with the communication first, and pace yourself and allow the other party to open up, welcome you back in. Once you get back in, keep your pace, find your rhythm, and flow and grow. Fellas Ain't Failure Podcast. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll see you
out,
in the next
baby.
one. Peace.
Watch the merch clip after this.
Free time.